Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dark Reading News Desk. We are live from Black Hat 2023. My name is Becky Bracken. I'm an editor with Dark Reading. And next up, we are joined by Sebastian Garcia, assistant professor at the Czech Technical University in Prague, and Veronica Valeros Saracho, correct?
Yeah.
Good. She is the project leader of the Stratosphere Research Laboratory and Civilsphare project at Czech Technical University in Prague as well. They're here to give us an overview of this year's Black Hat training they ran. It's a training on advanced malware traffic analysis. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Of course. So let's advanced traffic malware. This is a big subject right now. So maybe one of you could just walk us through sort of what the goals are and what the overview of the training is.
Yeah. So we have been teaching this training for a few years now, and our training focuses on teaching students from intermediate to advanced level the basics of network traffic analysis, from not focusing on the tools, but in the methodology. Because when you see students having like a basic knowledge of networking, but then you get a pickup, you know the network. The moment you plug it in, and then you're completely overwhelmed with the amount of traffic. You don't know where to start, like everything is too much, right? And so we teach them a methodology that they can use any tools that they have at work, right? Very complex or very simple, to kind of go through this traffic and make an assessment, make a conclusion. What is going on? What is happening? What is the behavior? Who is attacking? Who is the customer who I'm trying to protect, right? So we go from the basics, and then we go through a series of examples from simple to ransomware infections, lateral movement, exploits, and so they can get their hands dirty during the training, and it's very intensive, very hands-on, and we hopefully they leave with some toolbox and methodology that they can take to work, right? And then be able to continue working and progressing in the field.
And as you know, this is a super important topic, and everyone is being attacked the whole time in the network for the last 20 years. So organizations, governments, so everybody has people that they need to know network security, very advanced. And everyone needs tools. Tools are fine, but if you don't know what you're doing, tools are not enough for you, right? So we are going to cover this huge aspect of, hey, you are being attacked right now. You need to have this super advanced knowledge of how to track down, understand, and separate what is benign from what is malicious.
And what are these sources? What are the sources that you're separating out? I mean, what are you looking, what are your categories, if you will, of benign versus not?
So at the end, you want to know what's benign and what it's not, right? Malicious, it's fine, malware is fine, but there are many things in the middle, right? So when you go to this category, you start understanding everything that you know should be there in your network, like we call the normal part, if you have this knowledge, but maybe you don't have that.
Yeah, how do you know
exactly,
what normal traffic
right?
looks
You
like?
don't know, because maybe it's new network, stuff happening. So this knowledge is not there. So you go there and start finding everything that is out of pattern, everything that is suspicious enough that should not be happening because of the time, because of the computers, because of the people, because of the content, because the behavior in the network. So this is not about going and finding specific bytes and what are those, but the behavioral analysis of everything in the network, right? So you say, okay, all of this is benign, this I know, this maybe I know, no, this is suspicious, maybe this is usually not suspicious, but today combined with this other becomes suspicious, right? So you dig in and you find, and you say, hey, actually, I'm not sure what you are doing, traffic is encrypted, but I'm sure that you're attacking. I can see that this is a pattern of command and control, this is a pattern of a communication, botnet, malware, APT, right? So you go and you find those, that's confirm, test, and you report.
So this is more than just spotting the malware. This is about
yeah.
spotting people. And this kind of goes into identity management as well, right?
Yeah.
Where you're able to call out identities that should be
sure.
unauthorized, correct?
One of the things that we teach students to understand is that 10 years, 15 years ago, you have a MAC address, and then you have oh yes, I have this customer. It's just one IP, one MAC address, one IP. But now, that was one person. But now you have one person with the laptop, the second laptop, the phone, the tablet, right? And maybe some smart gadgets, and all of them are the same person. So when you analyze the behavior, as I was saying, like it's not only the behavior of this device, it's the behavior of the person behind it, right? And like putting all this together is quite complex. So the students at the beginning, like you can see that, okay, it's too much, and it's okay not to know what is normal. But with a good methodology, you can understand, like, okay, I might not know everything, but I know that this should be flagged, and this requires more research, right? Like more investigation. Yeah.
And how difficult is that? I mean, traffic analysis as a whole is difficult, but teasing out those things, what parts of the methodology sort of help you put all of that in context?
I think that the main point that we try to express in the methodology is like, okay, the first thing that you need to do is to define the goal. What are you looking at, right? Are you, and this depends on the customer. Who is asking you to do the analysis,
it sounds
right?
like a simple question, but it must be hard.
And this is something that we come across often. It's like, this is very simple. Yes, but it's not there. So it's like, okay, who is your customer? What are you searching for? What is the questions you're trying to ask? And then it's like, okay, get a high-level overview of what you're doing, what the traffic, the data is, and then try to find the questions that you want to answer, like what is this protocol doing here? Like what is this IP connecting to this other, right? And then getting like the tip of the problem to start unrolling, right? But also another thing that we cover is that you never have enough time in network analysis to do it as good as you want to.
So, and that to me seems like the biggest challenge is how do you know how much to invest in it without just throwing up your hands because it's so tough.
It's so tough. And the problem here, as you're saying, is this is because of the sheer amount of data you have. You have a huge network, and you have a lot of people, and a lot of servers, and computers, and cloud, and this is moving every time. So you need tools, for sure. You need tools analyzing all this, and summarizing all this, and aggregating all this, and showing you. But you need to do this in a context that you have the control and you know what you're doing.
So it's really about knowing enough how to make the process work for your personal environment.
If you have tools and you have no idea what you're searching for, what is good, it's like, yeah, you're gonna just click stuff, and even if the tool is trying to explain to you, or you're asking, okay, what's going on here? Why this person has different operating systems and suddenly they are behaving weird or out of hours, or they're interacting with people that they should not? Like, if you don't understand that in the low level, well, the tools are not going to help you. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is the takeaway for your trainees really that just get started, just get going, or is it that the tools are, what is the main takeaway? Sort of what is the, beyond the methodology, what is sort of the philosophy that you want them to leave with?
I think that for me, the main takeaway is like, we are as a network analyst, you are in a very good position because malware needs to communicate. They need to send data out, they need to move laterally, right? And if you go to a network, you are going to see it. So apart from the methodology, like you can find these things if you focus enough, if you are methodical, and then you learn how these things behave. If you run some exploits and look at the network constantly, you are slowly learning how these things how they work, and then you can start spotting and training yourself. The best machine learning that we have is our brains, right? So,
which is a refreshing statement to hear.
And you need to train it, right? It's like, it's not magically happen. So going there to a network, looking at the packets constantly to try to, what is this, what is that? Then it's like we are feeding and nurturing our own tools.
Yeah, and I would say that for the tools, it's exactly like you said, right? Yes, you can do this, like it's hard and you need to go and practice and understand, and you can do that, and tools will help you if you know what you are doing. But you should know that tools are not the ultimate solution. That's it, that you plug and you forget, right? Like you can look at whatever you want, but it's not gonna work, right? And hey, you need them, but you need to come all these together, right? It's beyond these tools.
One part of a larger picture.
One part, right? Yeah.
Well, thank you. And can you tell our audience maybe where they can get more information about your trainings and learn about your work?
Yeah. So we are from the Stratosphere laboratory, so you can go and search online. We have a public repository with all our tools. We have a university page with our blogs. And then in the Black Hat webpage, we are giving trainings in most of the Black Hat circuits. So next one is in Black Hat Europe. So a few months, and there is still time to register.
Stratosphereips.org.
Yeah.
You can find everything there.
Wonderful. Veronica and Sebastian, thank you both
Thank you
so
very
much for joining the news desk. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.